Hello, my baby loves. We're going to be sewing something super simple today, and it's one of my favorite garments to wear, and that's a kimono sleeve cardigan. I'm going to show you how to make it out of a piece of paper first to make it super simple, and then we're going to cut into the real fabric and get all that going. So I am using 2 yards of this awesome, look at this fabric, velvet cutout fabric, and I'm going to show you how to cut it. So the first thing you want to do is take your 2 yards by width. You want to fold it in half lengthwise, just like that. And if you're using a soft and silky fabric like mine, you may want to just take them and pin at the edges so that everything stays in place. But we got it there. Now what you're going to do is where the fold is, you're going to take it and fold it down. Just like that. So you have the fold here and along the top, okay? And now what we're gonna do, where the fold is along the top and along the left, is what you wanna do is take your widest measurement and divide that by 2. Because remember, you have a front piece. This is your front piece, this is your back piece. Right there. So I'm gonna go with my biggest measurement of 50, and the arms, they really depend on how long you wanna cut them, but I usually cut them about from shoulder to down, so that'd be 18 inches. So what you do is, like on your little mock paper, is you have the fold along the top and along the left. You wanna come down to wherever the 18 inches is, cut it in, and then from that corner, you wanna cut it down. So you have a little piece that, when you open it, looks like a long T, like this. But keep in mind that these are the sleeves, this is the body, okay? And then where it's folded at the top, you just want to take it and cut it across. So now you have your back piece and you have your front piece. And for your front piece, you could do however the neckline you want to do. You could cut it a little bit down. You could cut it in an angle. You could cut it in a V. So remember, this is folded. I'm going to take it and cut it as a quick little scoopy, like that. So this is going to be the front part of my kimono sleeve. And this is the back part. And basically what you do is, once you get them all lined up again, is you sew along the sides, underneath, you leave the arms open, sew the shoulder seams to where you cut that neckline, show the other shoulder seam, and then you come back down here and to the side. So we're gonna get into that in a second. So now that you have your fabric folded by length and then folded by width, so that the corners here are both on folds, you're gonna spread everything out correctly. And the first thing we're gonna do is cut down from the top for where you want your arms to be. So I usually do about 18 and 20 inches. I love a big bellowing sleeve, so I'm gonna do 20 inches. And we're gonna mark that. So 20 inches goes there. Then from the edging to the outside, we're gonna mark your biggest part of your body divided by 2, because remember, there's a front side and a back side. So let's say if I'm gonna go with a width of 50 inches, then that means that it needs to be 25 inches from across. So for this, we're gonna go to 25 inches and we're gonna pin it there. And then we're going to cut that rectangle, okay? All right, so now we flipped it. So now that we could cut the 25 inches, like so. Okay, so we know that the 18 inches is there. We're gonna cut the 25 inches. And we're actually gonna make it a little bit to 24. So you cut it up. And then when you meet your measuring tape, you take it and you cut it across. So now we have extra remnants. And it looks like a sort of a T with a wide arm. So now what we're gonna do is, because remember it's already folded in half, we're gonna cut along the top folds, and then that will give us our front and our back pieces. So make sure you have 2 pieces of fabric in there. And when you're working with anything with velvets or chiffon, you gotta make sure that when you're cutting, it does go all the way through, because it likes to act all brand new. Boom. Okay. So now what you have is a back piece. And you can see there's a little arm here for the arms. You have a back piece and you have a front piece. What you could do now, you could leave it the same, but if you want to cut the front piece into some sort of neckline, you would take your piece, you would fold it in half, and bring the folded edge to you. And this is where you would cut your neckline. So I'm going to just cut a little scoop neckline out of this white rose, and I may use that white rose later. And be done with it. And now we piece together and sew. I almost forgot one of your crucial steps is for your front piece that you just cut your neckline out of. You got to take it to where it's folded in half and cut that in half, because this would be the front opening to your kimono, sleeve cardigan. Now, if you don't want to cut it in half, then you'll just have like a kimono sleeve caftan, which works just as well. But I love having cardigans. So there we go. Okay, so now that we have everything pinned, we have the shoulder seams attached to the shoulder seams. Of course, you leave the arms open, because where else are you going to put your armhole through? Then you have the bottom of the arms along the sides. Now, because it's velvet, we're going to sew it closed with a zigzag stitch to make sure everything stays together. Okay, so here it is all together. These are the arms, as you can see. The front has a nice swoopy neckline, and that's the outfit together.